Hello there, everybody. My name is Wolfyowns, and welcome to a Dungeonborne review, where today we're going to be going over some changes that I want to come to it, and also everything that happened during the playtest, because of course some people are like, oh, this game's going to be nothing. Dude, my darker game is so much better than this game. But we're gonna be going over some of the stuff here, of course, on the Discord. We have so much information here, of course. Tons of stuff that they share, changes, balances, updates, all the information. Make sure you do join the Discord, because over here, baby, we got stocks. We got these stocks growing. That's what we do over here. We got nothing but growing stocks. But of course, we're going to be getting to the newest thing that they released. Just literally yesterday, we got the whole information of the playtests, and of course, everyone sharing their support, everyone enjoying the Dungeonborne game, of course. I can't wait to play it again. I really like this game. It was a lot of fun. I can't wait to play it when they release the next playtest. It's awesome. I've been enjoying it. So many others here have been enjoying it so much, and we all miss it. So we're going to be checking out the playtest numbers here and seeing what has all happened during this playtest, and I'll be giving my opinions on some things going forward here. So let's go ahead and see what all happened. The class selection. The most played class here is actually very close, actually. The most played class is Fighter, just barely ahead of Rogue. Rogue right behind the Fighter, followed by the Swordmaster. The three most played classes. Rogue, I can kind of understand. Rogue, I've seen a lot in solos. I see a lot of Rogues in solos, followed by Death Knights, actually. My experience, I saw a lot of Rogues and a lot of Death Knights in solos. I'm surprised Death Knight is at 11%, because a lot of people actually really complained about how strong and overpowered the Death Knight class is, which, to be fair, you block, you pop your AoE, you do damage. Like, it's a really good class. It pretty much beats most the melee classes if you just sit in the melee range, because you're just like, I hold block and I do damage. That's it. That's Death Knight. But yeah, I'm surprised. Actually, I'm not surprised at 11%, because you need to play at least for 3 days to unlock the Death Knight, which means you're gonna be picking Fighter, Swordmaster, and Rogue, Priest, Pyromancer. You're gonna be picking all of these classes way more than you'll be picking Death Knight and Cryo, because you have to play for 2 and 3 days to unlock these two classes. So I think this actually makes more sense that these have less playtime, just because of the daily login you have to do in order to actually play them. But I think these are two really good classes. Cryo feels really good. You get a freeze off and you kill them in one freeze. Yeah, it's so strong. This class is just so good. Oh, let's see here. So we got the Fighter. Fighter, I'm surprised, is played the most. I would expect Rogue to be played the most, because Fighter, it's not that big of a deal. I know I saw some people complain that, like, oh, Fighter goes in, does a Blade Storm, you pretty much just die. Those are just for all the people who don't understand. You can just block the Fighter's Blade Storm. Yeah, you could just block. Who knew that you could just hold your right click and then they do no damage? Who would have thought? That's crazy. Swordmaster is actually pretty cool. I like these throwing the swords from a range. I do hate that the Swordmaster has to carry a ton of swords to even use their abilities. I'll go over that in a little bit with my changes I want to come to the game. Rogue's kind of cool. Priest is, of course, a good healing class. This is kind of low on the totem pole of playtime, because as a Priest, you can't play Priest solo, really. You have to play it in a team, because it has Bubble and Heal. And that's it. That's all Priest does. That's Bubble and Heal, and that's all it does. So yeah, Priest is going to be low on the totem pole. You also can't heal Undead, so you can't heal Death Knight or Cryomancer. So you're not going to play Priest in a group with these two. So you're probably just going to play something else here. So yeah, Priest is going to be low on the totem pole. If this gets a damage ability, then Priest might jump up and play in, like, how much it's played. But right now, playing a Priest is kind of pointless in solos, so you're not going to really play it. And yet again, you're not going to play it with Undead guys, because you can't heal Undead. So yeah, I don't understand. Also, Cryomancer and Pyromancer could be literally the same class, just swap out abilities. Or you can make Cryomancer and Death Knight the same class, because they're both undead and they both use essence. Like, they both got to kill stuff to get their essence to actually use their abilities. So you could probably just make these two the same class with abilities they can swap out, and you're pretty much just set with that. But yeah, anyways, that's pretty cool. You can see which classes are played the most, which are played the least the most. Priest makes the most sense. Moving on to the next section here, we got the craftables. Okay, consumables. Oh, they actually have names in here too. Never left home without stacking up on potions, having commissioned the alchemist to make over 1,600 potions. Damn, that's a lot of potions. I didn't make a whole lot of potions my time playing because I mainly got all my potions and bandages as killing people. Like, you literally, like, I would kill someone and I would get like 6 potions. So I barely ever made potions in this game whatsoever because why? Just kill someone, take their potions. I really didn't need to like stack up on crafting ingredients whatsoever. Let's see. The most made craftable is a healing potion. Let's look about, I wish they gave us percentages on here, but it looks at almost about 50% of the time people made healing potions over anything else. The next most made thing is bandages, which makes sense. Both of these are healing, and the healing's actually pretty good. Potions heal a good amount over time, and bandages heal you for a lot of your health, which is pretty nice. The next main thing is a shield potion, which I'm surprised isn't made more. It's like free HP kinda, so I'm surprised people didn't make this more over bandages, but I guess bandages heal a lot. And of course, the next main thing is mana potion. Mana potion makes sense. That's the least made thing because there's only 2 classes that use mana, Priest and Pyromancer. Priest, again, not played a whole lot. Pyromancer barely played compared to everything else. So yeah, makes sense. Mana potions you're not gonna make a whole bunch of. Mana potions might go up if there's more classes that use mana in the future. But right now, there's only 2 classes. One of them you're not gonna play a whole lot, so makes sense. Flask craftables. Okay, Windjammer always ensure that they're combat ready, crafting 199 flasks. That's cool. Flask. Oh man, that's cool that they include your name. Would it be cool if we saw our name on here, boys? Like if we saw Wolfyowns on here for most dungeon kills or most escapes or something, that would be awesome. That would be pretty sweet. We probably won't, but it'd be cool. Crafted classes. Let's see. Incendiaries. Almost. Ooh, this is pretty close, actually. These might actually be very, very close. Incendiary and the Thunderclap are the 2 most crafted flasks, which makes sense. This does a burn over time, which is good. Thunderclap does a slow, which is nice, so they can't really get away from you, and also can interrupt cast, which is nice. Stone sharpening is, of course, going to be better over the smoke screen. I think smoke screen is one of the most useless throwables in the game. You're better off just using a stone throwable, in my opinion. Smoke screen, if you throw it and it slows someone, that's nice, right? But if you go in it, you're also slowed. I don't think it should slow the person who threw it. Maybe that's too OP, I don't know, but that's why you're not going to craft them over everything else here, because Thunderclap literally slows people, and it doesn't slow you, but smoke screen slows people, and it slows you. Like, why would you make a smoke screen over a Thunderclap? I don't understand. Moving on to the next thing here, we got treasures and riches. The most expensive item as identified that was sold is going to be the Relic of the Sacred Grove. Ooh. Yeah, this thing's actually pretty cool. It gives you elemental damage, it gives you crit chance, and it gives you crit damage. It also has 2 random modifiers, and it's unique. It has a special ability where if you get killing blows on things, you get a small amount of base life. Base life, which means your health increases. It doesn't heal you, it gives you more health, which is good. And from my understanding, I'm pretty sure this doesn't heal you. I never got one, but I'm pretty sure it's just base life in total. And it stacks 20 times. 20 times. That is so much HP you're getting, and it doesn't remove it. Like, it's not like, oh, it stacks 20 times for like 20 seconds or something. No, it stays until you go to the 2nd level of the dungeon. It's like permanent for your whole run. So if you kill 20 things at the start of the dungeon, you have an extra 20 times of life pool of your base life of how much it gives you, which is just, that's extra health, right? You don't die right away. You live longer. That's pretty good. Pretty good weapon. Oh my god, that's, oh god, 12 billion gold. 12 billion gold changed between the hands of adventurers and the trade market. Look at that. That's a lot of gold. Merchants Guild is doing their cut of the profits. Of course they are. The total amounts of trades completed, 7 million trades have happened in the game. So we've had at least 7 million trades. If everyone traded one item, that's 7 million players. Now realistically, not every one item was traded for one person, realistically, but that's a lot of trades, though. It means the community is pretty active there. Memory comes first to the dungeon reached level 20 in the shortest time. Ooh! Okay, so this guy's the speedrunner. He reached level 20 in the shortest time compared to everyone else. Oh man, imagine if we saw our name here. They know how to play safe, and they benefit from the grades of their skills, extracting 281 times. Not bad. Most of it failed in the dungeon. It can only be called home when the P dying 100. Oh my god! People dying 1,000 times. Why you gotta do him like this? Why you gotta do our man dirty? He died the most compared to everyone else in the game. Damn, they did you dirty, man. Let's see, about monsters. Here we go. Elite monsters fill their duty in guarding the dungeon by slaying 67,000 adventurers. Damn. Damn. That's a lot of people who died to elites. 6,000 brave adventurers were able to slay the mighty Cyclops. Ooh, 6,000 people killed the Cyclops. I haven't even done that yet. And 2,000 adventurers managed to kill the fearsome Wendigo. What the hell's a Wendigo? Is a Wendigo? Oh, actually, I think the Wendigo is a thing in the hell thing. I wonder how difficult that is. Skeleton got their bones rattled by the adventurers, so 200... sorry. Sorry, it's a little low. 29 million skeletons have died to adventurers, and of course, 3 million bounty pests were slain in the dungeon. Nice. Special moments. 274,000 pieces of gear were successfully returned to players by rolling a mithril dice. That's cool. Nice. So these are all the items that you got to save for free. So 724,000 pieces of gear were successfully returned. That's cool. That's a lot of dice, by the way. 159,000 players fell to an unsteady but friendly hand. 159,000 people died to friendly fire. That's funny. 160,000 people died by their own teammates. That's hilarious, actually. I like that. That's great. Let's see. 160 gems were polished by the blacksmith. That's kind of cool. I didn't really ever polish gems because I feel like it wasn't super necessary, but that's cool. 34,000 characters have become veterans by reaching level 20, and their experience was unmatched. That's cool. All right, community achievements. The amount of feedback collected, 4,000 people have responded. The amount of players reviewing the summits, 221. The amount of messages on Discord, 184,000 messages on Discord. The most active players in the Discord. Boom, boom. It's pretty cool. It's nice to see that there's an active community in the game, of course, wanting changes to be done, messaging people, sharing their feedback and everything. That's awesome. Really great to see. It's good to see the game coming together, and I can't wait for this game to actually come out because the community for this game, I feel like, is actually going to be pretty big. It's gonna be pretty decent, which is nice. Twitch stats. Ooh, look at this. Oh, we get the Twitch stats. All right. Let's not forget about the spectators and their favorite champions. 3 million hours watched on Twitch. Yeah, anyone saying that this game is literally just a cheap knockoff of Dark and Darker, it literally is just huffing that copium. You know, because literally 3 million hours watched, and people are saying like, oh, this game is so much worse than Dark and Darker. Yeah, right. Get out of here. Get out of here. 34,000 hours of broadcast. 68 peak viewers. 68,000. Let's go, baby. 6,000 broadcasts. And of course, we have all of our streamers over here. We got Soda. Let's go. There's our boy. Oh, and that's it. No, that's it. I was hoping for more stats. No. All right. Well, Dungeonborne. And this is all the stats for Dungeonborne in the entire game. We got stats on all the things, even friendly fire, which is hilarious. We got all the stats on the creatures. We got the expert adventurers. I don't know if I'd say expert for the amount of times this person has died, but you know, they gotta be an expert in some case, right? Most sold items. That's so much gold. I wish I had this much gold. Most craftable items. So we know which items are actually performing the most and which ones are underperforming. That's kind of cool. And of course, the most selected classes. This is hard to judge here because, yet again, priest, you can't play with undeads, and it has no ability solo to actually fight with, so kind of playing a priest is kind of pointless in solos. You can't really judge the priest too much here. And of course, you can't judge the Death Knight and the Cryomancer because they're both locked behind a 3-day gameplay, so you can't even play them a whole lot. I would like to see these stats with all the classes available at the very beginning, and with priest having a damaging ability, because then it would actually change these stats quite a bit, I think. But, you know, it's cool to see who's playing which. Now, let's go ahead and get into what I want that I think could be pretty nice for the game, in my opinion, just classes related. I don't really care too much about the balancing issue. That's not really my job to figure out which classes are OP, which ones need a nerf, which ones need a buff. I don't really care. I just wanted to adjust or address some things that I would like changed or added to the game for some classes. So I would like a duo game mode because I did play in threes. As you guys saw in some of my videos, I did some 2-mans versus some threes, and we'd often win against those because you just got to outplay them. Sometimes you don't win, sometimes you do. It's just how it is. You're playing with one less person, so you're kind of outclassed in the ability section. But I would like a duo game mode. That'd be awesome. I would also like a red portal in the solo mode so the winner can go deeper if they wanted to. I think it'd just be kind of cool to go deeper and fight things solo on your own without having to worry about a group of 3 jumping you. I think it'd be kind of cool, but that's me. But first off, getting to our first class, Rogue, one of my most favorite classes in the game. I really liked how Rogue played. It was a lot of fun. I don't understand the steal part of decks, how you can steal an item from players, because you can hear a rogue walking around and you can see them while they're stealth. So you can be heard while you're walking and you aren't fully invisible. So I don't understand the steal part. When are you ever going to be stealing gear? The only time you're ever going to steal gear from someone is if they're new and they have no idea what a rogue looks like when it's stealth. That's it. That's the only way you're going to steal gear from someone ever. So the stealing part, I don't really understand why it's in there. What they should do is make it so stealth doesn't have footstep sounds, so therefore you can't sneak up on a player and steal items from them. I think that would be awesome if stealth had no sound when you're walking. So you actually can make some stealth items like play, but you can still be seen, of course, because you're not fully invisible. It actually makes stealing items possible, in my opinion. Or you can make it a part of like the Dex passive, or you can make it a part of like Will or something, or just something else in general. I just don't understand when you're going to be stealing items when they can hear you and see you. Like, when are you going to ever steal items from someone who has any idea what they're doing in the game, right? It just doesn't make sense to me. I think that should be addressed in my opinion. Moving on to Swordmaster. So Swordmaster is pretty cool. You carry a ton of swords to use your abilities, which is cool. But in game it sucks because you can't carry anything else but swords. Like, you literally can't carry anything else but swords if you want to use your ability more than once. I don't understand how that got through. Like, how people are playing Swordmaster are like, yeah, I enjoy playing this class, while picking up nothing else in the game whatsoever. Like, let's say if you killed someone and they dropped all purples and you have half your inventory full of swords, how are you going to carry all those purples? How? This class makes the least amount of gold than any class in the game because you have to carry like 20 swords in order to use your abilities. It's ridiculous. I think a fix for this, in my opinion, would be maybe making the skill a magical one, where you throw magical swords out instead of actually throwing out real swords, but it also uses one of your sword slots. So therefore, you're still using swords, but at a much slower rate. That's what I think would be better for the game, for a Swordmaster. So therefore, now you can carry less swords. You can carry like 5 swords, 6 swords, and you're only throwing out a 1 sword every time you use your abilities. So therefore, using a much slower rate of swords. You're probably still going to want to carry around maybe like 6, 7 swords, but that's way better than carrying around 20 swords in your inventory. That's a little ridiculous, in my opinion. This class is just one of the worst ones for carrying anything around in the game or trying to make gold on. You're better off just playing like fighter or rogue or something. It's just crazy. I don't know who would think that's a good idea, but I don't know. I think it should be magical swords, in my opinion. But yeah, that's my idea for Swordmaster. Other than that, it's a pretty fun class. I enjoyed it. Death Knight. Now, I'm not really sure what to do about Death Knight, because all you do, like I said, is that you block, and then you just win fights by popping your AoE. I'm not really sure what you do about Death Knight. Maybe you can make the AoE tick slower, maybe, so people have more of a chance to get outside of it. Like, reduce the amount that it costs to have your AoE up, maybe, and then lower the tick rate so it ticks once every other second, maybe, instead of once every second. Would probably be better for Death Knight. I don't really know what to do with Death Knight without a full rework. Death Knight just seems really good against the melee fights. You have to outplay a Death Knight to win that fight. But in most cases, a Death Knight will beat a fighter because a fighter can't really outplay a Death Knight. You're both melee. Like, if they have to spin, you block, you pop your AoE, and they take damage for free because they can't block it. I don't know. I'm not really sure what to do about Death Knight. It's just really good against melee fights. It loses to AoE, I mean, it loses to range, but it's really good in the melee department. Alright, Pyromancer. It seems fine with good range, damage, but up close it loses to melee. I've killed many Pyromancers once I get in their face. Of course, they have a knockback ability, but once that knockback's gone, or if you put your back to a wall or to a pillar or something, they can't knock you back. So you kind of just kill pyros. I know that a really geared pyro, like an endgame pyro with like actual good purples and like a legendary maybe, they can two-shot you or even one-shot you with a charged up fire blast. That's just kind of how the endgame is. Like I said, I'm not gonna go over balance. The endgame is not very balanced. Like most classes endgame can one-shot you. So like I've been one-shotted by a rogue, I've been one-shotted by a swordmaster, I've been one-shotted by a pyromancer. Like endgame classes can one-shot you, but that's not my job to talk about balance. I'm here to talk about classes that I like and don't like, what can make them better, what can't. I don't really have many issues against pyromancer. Loses to melee. It's good for range. It has really good range. I might play pyromancer more when the game comes back, because in my solo game I played pyromancer a little bit, and it was pretty fun actually. I kind of enjoyed it. So not many issues for pyromancer in my opinion. So I think cryo and pyro should be the same class that swaps abilities because they're basically the same thing. That or Death Knight and cryo, because they have the same like playstyle where you got to kill stuff to get your essence to use your abilities. But yeah, I don't think we need a cryomancer class in my opinion. It should just be abilities for the other two. But speaking of which, moving on to pyromancer. Pyromancer class has already been nerfed. It had a 5-second freeze, which was insane, by the way. If you saw one of my clips where I got instantly deleted by a cryomancer, Cryomancer is crazy. A 5-second freeze? That's insane. They nerfed it to 2 seconds. 5 seconds was insane, like I just said. You would die in just one freeze. It seems better now. The freeze from Cryo is still really annoying if you get frozen and then you have 3 other people just using their abilities on you. Like you have the Cryo throwing lightning, you have the fighter going in and spinning, and you have a Death Knight popping his AoE on you. You pretty much just die. Like there's nothing you could do there. You pretty much just die. So the freeze is really annoying. I think if anything, if you want to balance the freeze a bit more, maybe, like you could have it freeze for, I don't know, maybe 3 seconds, like buff it back up to 3, but the freeze breaks the first time you take damage would maybe be nice. Like maybe that would help. I don't think you should just die in one freeze as everyone just jumps you when you're frozen. So far it feels like the best CC class. Like for example, the Rogue Stun breaks the first time you take damage, and the first time you take damage is also 0 damage. When you first take damage from that stun, it is 0. No matter how hard you're hit, it is always 0. So the Cryomancer can freeze you and stun you for 2 seconds, but you take full damage, which is crazy to me. I think you could easily buff this back up to 3 and then make it so when you take damage while frozen, it instantly breaks, but you'd still take damage. I think it would be one way to balance the Cryomancer, I think, with the freeze section. I think that'd be kind of cool. Moving on to the fighter. I hear this class is very strong, of course. I haven't had any issues with fighter. Like I've outran fighter, I've killed fighters. Like when they spin on you, you just block the spin and then you win. Block, spin, and win, as I like to call it. I haven't really had any issues fighting fighters. The only time I lose to a fighter is if a cryo freezes me and they spin on me. But yeah, I haven't really died to any fighters. You can outrun them. They of course are faster with daggers, so I think they shouldn't be able to use daggers, in my opinion. I think that should only be a rogue thing. They can keep that in the game if they want, but daggers and fighters, I think, are going to become a problem in the future, maybe, because people are saying, like, daggers on fighters are really strong, like, they're really fast and whatnot, so I don't know. I think just remove daggers from fighters. There you go. They're a pretty good class. They're pretty set, pretty balanced. You block their spin, you win. Other than that, they're pretty tanky, and they're really good. They have really good survivability, so I don't know. Pretty fun class overall. And then we have the Priest, of course. It's a really good team healer. Of course, I like Priest. It heals really well. It's got good team healing. It can bubble your teammates if you have stamina. It's really nice. It should have a DPS skill, so you can swap it out whenever you want. But besides that, it's pretty good for team builds. It's good for team fights. If your whole team is just humans, like if you have a Swordmaster and a fighter, or just 2 fighters, you can just heal them as a Priest the whole time. If you have a Death Knight on your team, why are you playing Priest at that point? Just play something else. If you have a Death Knight and a Cryo, there's absolutely no reason to play Priest. So yeah, I don't just go play something else in my opinion. But yeah, it's a good team healer. These are all the changes that I would like to see addressed or changed in some way, in my opinion. But yeah, overall, I think the game's pretty good. I can't wait for the game to come out in the future. I'm definitely excited to see what Dungeonborne will do with this over time, because this is the demo that was played, of course. Everyone got to play this. It was a free entry demo. It didn't cost anything. And I can't wait for Dungeonborne in the future. I will definitely be playing Dungeonborne when it comes back. I'm definitely excited to play this and see where it goes after the next update. So I will be playing Dungeonborne the next time we can. And that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys all so much for watching. I'll be seeing all of you guys in the next one. Peace.